positive as
Alrighty, we're online and direct, and you would have had a lot that you learned, you would have seen, digested, hopefully written, and hopefully will practice, right? Now, I ask a lot of things recently about all sorts of viruses, including the coronavirus, and we're not going to spend much time on that because it's a virus. And the bottom line is, even though it may have mutated and became whatever it is, you know, it's been around for a long time, and maybe with some time, probably stronger. However, you just have to make sure your immune system is well guarded, and your body system will hopefully, you know, destroy whatever little viruses come across your way. So I've been saying this year after year, time after time, your best defense is your immune system. And you don't need to worry, just make sure that your environment is clean, that you eat the right kind of foods, that you walk with a mask in your pocket. If anybody starts coughing and sneezing, you put it on. You know, don't wait for them to look at you and do it, because then you don't know what kind of viruses they have. And you should practice this all the time, not just because there's something in the ear that's happening now. You should walk with a mask all the time, and since you're traveling, most of you in public transportation, if somebody starts doing that, protect yourself. You know, don't feel bad. I travel with it. Whenever I travel, I have a mask in my pocket. Okay. And if I suspect anything, I put it on. I don't care who say what, whoever feels. I have to protect myself. You need to protect yourself. You know, don't wait for something to happen before you try to protect yourself. Right? I want to mention quickly that the next time you see me, we would have already had an election, and you know, changes may occur, you don't know, or changes will occur. Whatever it is, we'll have a new government of some sort, if it's the same or another or whatever. But next time you see me, we'll have that. And election day is just a few days away, and you need to remember that there's life after election, number one. Your neighbor will most likely be your same neighbor after election. Your friends will be your same friends after election, you know, and you need to practice that. Don't alter your state because of an election. You know, you still have to live a life after that, and we have to change the way we act and the way we are because of an election, right? Because when it's all said and done, the people who are running for offices are going to do what they're going to do, and you're going to have to continue doing what you're doing. And the same people who you work with, that you live with, that you live next to, are going to be there until they die, you know, or until you die. So let's cut this nonsense and be a civilized people. You know, it's disgusting, and at least now I feel better about what's happening now than some of the previous elections. But we need to mature in our mental state and realize that we are one people, one nation with one destiny. And regardless as to who gets into office, we would have hopefully chosen them to be there, and we have to honor it. You know, whatever we did, if it doesn't go your way, you honor it, you know, because you only have one role to play, is your vote, right? But many others will vote whatever way they vote, And at the end of the day, whatever the outcome is, we have to accept it, and move on, because more elections will come. And let us hope that whoever is in there, will do what is in our best interest as a Guyanese people. So I just wanted to say that because it comes around, and it's coming, and it's a few days away, and we don't want you to change what you're doing because of that. All right? So I'm going to take some calls. I was planning to speak on fasting, but time is against us, so I have to go to the call because I'm a little late, and I'm sorry about that. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm listening to your program every week. I just want us to understand that without God building this nation, we labor in vain.
That's right.
And if we're going to depend on man, we're going to fail. It's only God who can help. It's only God. The Word of God said, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord.
Wonderful.
We're going to look to man, and we're going to keep fighting and looking for what we think we should have. We're going to fail. Mm-hmm. And within the sex that you were talking about of the family and people behaving the way they behave, we make choices. Also, we got to realize that what we are having now is what has been planted from the root. And those seeds that have grown and are coming up into these trees and are bearing, they are bearing fruit. The Bible says, let the old men teach the younger men. Let the older women teach the younger women. And all that we get most of the time from the older ones are negative. A few are they that are teaching the right things. And that starts from the home. So we need to pray more to get the family right so that we can get the right output in the generations to come.
So that the trees that grow will bear the right fruit.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Wonderful. All right, I hope that you listened and you learned and you understood. The parable that is used there with the tree and the fruit and so is used a lot in the Bible. And what it means is that in simple form, as you sow, whatever you sow, that's what you're going to reap. If you plant indecency, you're going to reap indecency. If you plant goodness, you're going to reap goodness. That's how it goes. Good evening.
Well, good night.
Good night.
I don't believe in the last caller.
Why?
I make good fruits, right? But yet they turn out bad.
Why do you think they turn out bad?
Company.
Maybe it's because the nurturing of the fruit or of the plant wasn't as firm as it should have been.
Baking soda. For example, when you cut an unwashed muskmelon, some part of the pesticide residue from the surface goes inside. Next, in order to diminish the effect of systematic pesticides, it is recommended to keep the lid open while cooking the vegetables. The agricultural scientists say that with steam, pesticides inside the body of vegetables move upwards. Well, it can't be said that using all these practices we can make our fruits and vegetables 100% free of pesticides. But there is no doubt about the fact that effective methods to reduce the effect of pesticides and other chemical agents to as much as possible. And frankly, this is the best we can do as a smart consumer. After talking with local vendors and farmers, I came to know that there are certain fruits and vegetables which are heavily treated with chemicals. As the mango season is approaching, be ready for chemically ripened mangoes in the beginning. Bananas are extensively treated with calcium carbide to meet the demands. One easy way to differentiate is that naturally ripened bananas have black or brown stalk, whereas chemically ripened bananas have green stalk. Tomatoes are very heavily treated with pesticides. Other heavily treated fruits and vegetables include grapes, papaya, brinjal, etc. Then I also got to know that there are vegetables which require least amount of pesticides. These include mostly the ones which are grown underground like onions, potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrots, radish, etc. Even the green leafy vegetables do not require a lot of pesticides. So you have another reason to eat them more often. This was just for your awareness, although I would still highly recommend you to wash all the fruits and vegetables that you buy in baking soda solution. Even a small of pesticide, our body finds it very difficult to get rid of and it gets deposited in the adipose tissue. Now here's something interesting to know. Since most pesticides used are lipophilic pesticides dissolving in oily surfaces, that's where ancient Ayurvedic techniques like oil pulling are really helpful. If you have seen my video on oil pulling, you will know that the way it removes the toxins from the body is by attracting the toxins in oil. Go watch it and start oil pulling today. So what's the takeaway from this video? Avoid fruits and vegetables which are not in season. Ditch the foreign exotic foods and switch to local produce. Always wash the fruits and vegetables with soda solution. Remove the first layer of foods like cabbage and onion before washing. Keeping the lid open while cooking helps minimize the effect of pesticides. Some foods are heavily treated while others are not. Choose wisely. Buy organic foods whenever possible. Start oil pulling to get the deposited toxins out from the body. As a smart consumer, let's be aware and do as best as we can. Like switching to organic food products.
Urgent wake-up call. 5G means danger for life and physical condition.
The establishment media are highly euphoric in their reporting on the new generation of mobile radio communications, 5G. Germany is said to be underdeveloped concerning seamless mobile phone